Hi, my name is Abel. I'm a senior cloud developer advocate specializing in DevOps. Today, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to build your CI/CD pipeline all the way into Azure App Service. Now, Visual Studio Team Services, that is your DevOps solution into Azure. Using VSTS, I can take the code from the hands of your developers into the hands of your end users, using the infrastructures that you've deployed up into Azure. And all of this with just a couple of clicks. Let's go check it out. So what you're seeing here is I have pre-deployed an Azure App Service website already. So here's my Azure App Service. If I go ahead and look at it, you can see that it's a completely empty app service. It hasn't been configured. It hasn't been updated yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to set up our continuous delivery pipeline. So what we need to do is we need to configure. So when we configure, the very first thing it does is it asks you, where is your source code? Now, of course, we can connect up to Visual Studio Team Services, but really, you can connect up to any Git repository, including GitHub. Now, for this demo, we're going to choose VSTS. Next, I'm going to go ahead and choose my demo project. And from here, let's go ahead and do a node application. And that's all we need. Next, we need to tell VSTS what type of application are we building. Of course, we can do .NET, and we can do .NET Core, but we can also do more than just the Microsoft stack. Out of the box, we can do Node.js, PHP, Python, with even more languages to come. Now, for this demo, we're using a Node.js application. We're not going to use a task runner, but my source directory is really in my source directory. So I'll go ahead and click OK, and literally, that is all I need to do to configure my CI/CD pipeline. If I wanted to, I could come in here to set up load tests, and I even can come in here to set up deployment slots. In the interest of time, I'm just going to go ahead and select OK, and just like that, I'm done. I can now kick back, relax, and just let VSTS and Azure do its thing. VSTS and Azure, they're going to build out my CI/CD pipeline for me. Now, when I say continuous integration, that is a process where every time the developer checks in code, it's going to kick off a build. And that build is going to go download the latest source code from source control. It's going to compile everything. It's going to massage my bits. It's going to go ahead and run all of my unit tests. And if everything looks good, it will package everything up so that it's ready to be deployed. And then it will go ahead and trigger release management. Release management will go pick up those bits and start deploying it through Azure. All right. So it looks like we've finished building out our pipeline. If we click on this build definition link, it will actually take us into Visual Studio Team Services to our build definition, where you can see a build has already been kicked off. Now, this build is actually using one of our hosted build agents. So what that means is there's nothing for you to install. There's nothing for you to configure. Everything is there ready for you to use. And we build this whole CI/CD pipeline for you. All you have to do is just do your work and let us take care of the rest. The very cool thing is, even though we build out the CI/CD pipeline for you, you still have complete control over this pipeline. If we go and click on Edit Build, we can actually come in here and customize this build and make it do whatever we want it to do. We can add, we can remove tasks, and out of the box, there are hundreds of tasks that span all sorts of language. Remember, VSTS is not just for the Microsoft stack. It is for any language, targeting any platform. All right, so it looks like our build was successful. Let's go ahead and go back to our build. And from here, we can see that the build was successful and it started deploying through our pipeline. So if we jump into our release pipeline, we'll actually be able to see that it's starting to deploy our node application into Azure. Now, once again, you have complete control over this release pipeline. We define it for you. There's nothing that you have to do, but if you wanted to tweak it and configure it, you can. So we can come in here. Let's go ahead and edit. And from here, you're able to come in, tweak this release, and make it do whatever you want it to do. All right, so it looks like we've actually released our Node.js app all the way into production. Let's go ahead and see if it succeeded or not. We'll go ahead and refresh, and hooray for that. Everything worked. So there you go. CI/CD into Azure App Services, all done with just a couple of clicks. Thank you.